Episode of My Wife's Asleep. I'm your host, Sean Boucher. Joining me today is the very funny Nate Curran.
Yo,
How you doing, brother?
very good. How
I
are
love
you?
your sunglasses.
I bought them for the 4th of July and forgot to wear them.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
I was like, I got to wear them for something. This seemed perfect.
I know it's so bright. We normally do this at like 6 o'clock, but it's early today on this beautiful Sunday up in Maine. It's a little chilly. I had to get a sweater. I don't think I'm going to survive the winter. I'm going back to Florida. Good luck.
No, you're
See you
fine,
guys.
man.
So my dad said, he's like, you're not going to last through the winter. I'm like, fuck you, Dad.
I can do what I want. I can do.
So how you? We're in the middle of the Portland Maine Comedy Festival right now. How's your weekend been with that? It's fucking lit.
Dude, great weekend for comedy. Terrible weekend for sleep.
Yep. We're all just exhausted by this point.
Dude, posting the 10 o'clock mic at High Fidelity last night until about 12:30. You obviously hang afterwards. Don't get home until about 1:30. We're all jazzed up because of the comedy.
Yeah, you're all fucking amped.
So me and Gabe are just fucking like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, you hosted the Open at
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
Well, I was going to go to that, and Zach messaged me, but I was doing a podcast with Brendan Mahaney at Free Street. I was going to have Buzz hop on that for a couple minutes. I was like, yo, like when I do this, like I'll go smoke a cigarette and you can talk to Brendan for a little bit. He was about it. And like 47 minutes in, his fucking mic died. Because I had the portable setup. I didn't have all the bells and whistles. So I was like, fuck, I was so embarrassed.
No.
But we're going to finish part 2 tonight, so I'll edit them and clip it together.
Nice.
But we were going to go to that, but I was like, dude, I'm fucking beat. Like, I'm pissed that this just happened. I'm going to go to a bar.
I showed up late. I took a just like today. I took a nap and woke up like, oh no, I was supposed
Have
to be
somewhere
there
to
at
be.
9:15. I woke up at like I don't know 9:07 in OOB, so that was cool. And then I was supposed to be here for 2. I woke up at like 2:02. I was like, ugh.
You're going to be there in 20 minutes. I'm like, you're fine. I'm setting up. So you're 1/3 of the Comedy Mill,
Yes,
which
sir.
we love you here on My Wife's Asleep. Like me and Brendan, we can't praise you enough. Like I can't praise you guys enough. That was the first room I hit. Well, no, it was the second room I hit when I came up to visit before I moved up in May. And Gabriel Perez actually told me about that because I met him at the Sunday mic and he was like, dude, you got to go down to Biddeford for Mulligan's on the Comedy Mill on Wednesdays. He's like, that's the room. So I had all these high expectations and I got there and you guys exceeded my expectations, dude. We love you guys,
It's
dude.
beautiful to hear that. It's like it is so much fun there. With an audience, all the comics are there to laugh. Everyone's there to have a good time. The camaraderie, it's truly turned into something special, man.
Congratulations. You guys just celebrated your first year of doing it.
Yeah. Well, so the Comedy Mills got its year in November. Me and Buzz started a year ago, like last weekend.
Okay. So I got that wrong. I apologize, America. But yes, congratulations.
Fuck you, America.
But it's cool to see, like, because I'm sure some comics that go there every week, like that was their first mic. So to see people develop and like grow and like when I was first showing up, I forget the guy's name, but Buzz was like, "Don't fucking run the light. You did like 10 minutes last week. Like you got to follow the light." So it's cool to like have that camaraderie and just like dick around with other comics, but to see them develop as well.
Oh yeah, we've seen people skyrocket in skill sets. It's unbelievable. It is truly a sight to see these guys and girls just every single week get that much better, and they want to grind. They want to do the work, and
Like the highlight of people's weeks.
some people have told me that. Some people are really, really into it. Some people have told me it's the best mic in Maine. I'm not saying that, but I've had a bunch of people say that.
It's one of the best ones for sure. I love that one. Wednesday night, you know exactly where I'll be. Like, I'll kind of center having guests on around that. Like, yo, come over at 6, and we'll do it for like half hour, an hour, and then we're going to hit the fucking Comedy Mill. So, definitely the highlight of my week.
Fuck yeah.
I've done great in that room, and you've seen me try out new material and eat shit in that room a lot. Like, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I should have been more prepped. I'm letting the guys down.
Yeah, it's I remember probably like for the first 4 months I did a new 5 minutes every single week. So there was some real hit and miss weeks for that
Yeah.
4 or 5 month period. I've kind of chilled out on that. At first writing was so easy, you know?
Because you think everything's the best. You're like,
Yeah.
this is going to kill.
Yeah.
I'm the next Kinnison. Yeah.
Yep. And then you just start eating a bag of dicks after 4 months of doing new fives. You're like, all right, maybe I should go work on some old jokes.
Well, you got to work on them. Like, it's not, a joke's never finished, but it's good to have a new thing. Like, what I'll do, my process, I'll have a premise. I'm like, all right, I have this joke from last week that I can work on. And then, like, I'll go up, like, because I don't bring a notebook or anything. I just wing it. I'm like, all right, I'll go into this, and then I'll try to figure this out, and I will never figure it out at this level I'm at right now. And I'm like, all right, that sucks. Let's go into something that I kind of have. What's your process? What's your writing process?
Process is pretty much just throughout the day, something will happen. Somebody will say something funny. I'll just go to the phone right away, write it down, leave it for later.
So you do note on phone. You do note on phone and then bust out the notebook.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I like writing it in pen and paper.
You got to, dude. There's something magical about that. Like
Yeah.
I've written bits on the phone and then like I'll forget them immediately. But once you put the pen to paper, it's like okay, I have that.
See, I'm not like you where I just go up there. I have to have my safety net of the notepad,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just for that one little look down. Just that.
Yeah, a little bullet point.
Just one little look down, because my brain's mush. So if I'm going up there just trying to remember what the hell I'm talking about, it's gonna go bad.
Well, I do have that. I just write it down when I get there because I have the book for my car, and I'll write down the bullet points. So I'll be like, all right, motorcyclist, NWA, restaurants. And I'll just say that. You probably see me pacing in the back before I go up, like, okay, motorcyclist, NWA restaurants, motorcyclist, NWA restaurants. Then I have that. Sometimes I forget it. A lot of the times I'll forget, and I'll go into something else, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to do that one. That's the worst when you forget a tag.
Yeah, it's usually I forget jokes. If I'm trying to do it without a pad, I'll forget the next joke if one bombs severely. My brain will shut down. I'll be like, fuck, that didn't work the way I thought it was going to. What do we have next? Nothing, because you've never said anything funny in your entire life.
That's the feeling.
Yeah.
But it at the level we're at, though, like I'm coming up on 2 years, you're a year in, everything's in the right direction.
I think so.
Everything's falling into place. Like being on the festival and shit, like this has been amazing. This has been a great weekend. Like how awesome was the feeling on Thursday showing up to the Free Street the first night of the festival? I was tabling and I was waiting to go down to the mic, but like I went out to smoke and everybody like came up at that same exact moment. It's like, oh shit, where'd you come from? Like, oh, I was over at Rising Tide, or oh, I did this. Like this energy in that room on Thursday was phenomenal. Did you get up on the mic?
So Thursday, I started the day at High Fidelity. Did an open mic there, bombed. And then I went to Free Street, had a set at 8, bombed. And then did the open mic at 10, was like, this can't possibly be a bomb. Nope, bam. So
I only did like 2.5 minutes.
It was a tough Thursday. But the cool thing I think about it is, Thursday, you go in, you know your people, but you don't know anyone else. Yesterday, it felt like I knew everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Like we're networking and meeting people from like Chicago and Houston, Austin. Like people are sending Instagram like friends like, oh, you on Instagram? Here's my card. Take my card. Yep. I didn't give out a single card. I have them in my fucking glove box, but I keep forgetting to put them in my wallet. But like the networking aspect of it, too. Shout out to Greg too for putting it all on, man. Greg,
Killed it, Greg.
I can't imagine dealing with everything that you've dealt with this weekend. When I was tabling yesterday, I'm like, your phone's going off nonstop, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, dude. Like, hold on.
Yeah. And all us unappreciative comics have just been reaping the benefits, man.
Yeah, been a great host though.
Yeah.
But the feeling this weekend, like I was saying, everything's lining up where it's supposed to be at this level in our careers. Like I'll always say it. I've said it 1,001 times. You guys are probably tired of me hearing me say it, but like I'm a realist when I come to this, and I know how long this journey is, and like it's a nonstop journey, fucking highs and lows.
Yeah.
But that's the fun of it, because like if you do reach the top, the climb is what you remember. The climb's like you don't stay at the top.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
the climb up is the fun shit.
The journey.
And you guys put on showcases and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
So what's the process on organizing that?
So we've done 3 shows upstairs so far. Our first show was just legit. We booked 2 comedians and had us go up. Our second show was the showcase. We put on basically all the people who have put us on or our absolute day ones. Just the cream of the crop homies. Our next showcase is very similarly built to that, where we have 2 guys in Portland that they've been down to us and we've hung out a bunch, but we think they're the creme de la creme of local talent. And then we have the good comedians that are our friends that have put us on as well for the second round.
Yeah, so it comes full circle. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to help out the people that have helped us out. We want to help out the people who we love, and yeah.
So you guys had Lee Syed on the last one. Well, okay, so Lee's cool. I've DM'd him a couple times when I was trying to figure out how to do all this, and he responded. It was really dope. I told my brother, like, oh my God, I asked Lisa Hett this question about podcasting, and he answered, and he was like really helpful. And my buddy's like, that's all. Yeah. So like he showed up to one of the comedy mills early when you guys started out for the mic.
Yep.
So did you guys like? I mean, obviously like add on Instagram and shit, but when you messaged him, were you like, oh, I don't know how this is gonna go, or which one of you guys messaged him?
I did. So I run
Hell yeah.
Instagram.
Send you in for the professional buzz. It's like, yo, dude, like, so we
Yeah. He's got the Facebook page. Which
he's got the
can-
Chris Farley approach.
He can run wild on that, and he does. He does a good job.
I love
being authentically buzzed through the Comedy Mill page. But yeah, so I mean, when he showed up, it was so weird because Chris Nugeth looks at me and he goes, "Dude, Lee Syatt signed up to be on the mic tonight."
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder who put his name down, and then I like looked to my right, and Lee Syatt's just sitting there.
Oh my God, it's the dancing Jew.
The flying.
The
Jew.
flying Jew. He dances too.
So yeah, a couple months went by, and then we started producing shows, and I was like, let's just hit up Lee. Let's just see if he can. And we hit him up originally to be on our first show as our feature for Brendan Ayer. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I'd charge this, but if you want to headline me at some point in the future, I'll just charge the exact same amount. And
That's dope.
yeah, send it. So I sent out the message, and he responded pretty much immediately after we started the Instagram page. We had like 3 followers. I messaged him, and he still responded.
Yeah.
That's who Lee
He's a
Syatt
cool
is.
guy, dude.
Yeah, he is so down to earth.
I can't imagine dealing with fucking Joey. Like, he's got to be chill.
Yeah, because he was not down to earth. He was floating in space for a long
Yeah,
time.
taking
so,
naps, running the board.
Yeah.
So you reach out to him, and then he responds, and you're like, holy shit, we got him.
Yeah, it was nuts. It didn't make sense because, like I said, when I messaged him, we had like 3 followers on Instagram, and he was like, "Yep." He enjoyed his time with us at the mic, and he had a blast at the show too, dude. We
I was stuck at work. I wanted to go so bad, but nobody would cover.
We got some Alex Pizza for him. We had a nice little set of joints for him. Dude, we smoked about 12 joints after the show with him, just shooting the shit about.
I was texting Zach, like, how was the show? He's like, dude, I'm like smoking a joint with Lee right now. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm stuck at work. I was like, ask him if he wants to meet a stranger at a bar. Like,
Yeah, we got so violently high after that show. It was unbelievable.
fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now, with the 3 of you, so you said Buzz runs the Facebook page.
Yep.
So you do the Instagram.
Yep.
What's Paul up to?
Paul has, so we have 2 on Facebook. We have the Comedy Mill. It's just a page. And then we have the Comedy Mill open mic at Mulligan's page.
Okay.
as well. So Paul runs that, and then he's always plugging us on like the Maine Comedians page and the New England Comedians page. So he's got dude. He used to he used to do it off his phone, but when he tagged people, it would be like the URL that's about 120 characters.
He didn't realize you
long.
gotta hit like space and then like delete. Yeah.
Yeah. So just
Love you,
old
Paul.
man shit, dude. Just technology.
What are you talking about? I tagged him. Like I did what I was supposed to.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, this is what it looks like. This you fucking old piece of shit. Love Paul to death, dude. He's a wizard, man.
It's cool though, like you guys run a tight ship, and what's great about like you get the stage time at the Comedy Mill, you get the stage time, and then like you're going around taking pictures. Like Buzz is taking pictures, so it's like even if somebody bombs that night, they still have something to remember and look at. Like, oh shit, I can add that to my repertoire. I can add that to my headshot or use this. Like you guys do a lot for comics. It's great.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and we love it so much. Like at no point are we like, oh god damn it, we got a mic tonight. I don't want to do this. No, every time we get there, we're like, let's go. And the pictures thing is awesome. I think we all have our little role on the night. Usually, it's like Paul will be doing time. I'll be running the pictures or doing the, just fucking list or shit.
Bump it
like
around,
that.
yeah.
We got. It's very cool to have 3 of us that we all have our little roles.
I love the light setup because if you do it at the Comedy Mill, guys, like it's not like somebody in the back with their phone flashlight. There's a ball, an LED ball, and it's green, and then it's yellow when you have 1 minute or 2 minutes.
1 minute left, yellow.
1 minute, it's yellow. I normally end when I get to yellow, and then if you're over, it's red. So it's hard to not see the red. I mean, some people don't. Sometimes you'll get a tall guy standing in front of it. But like if that ball is red, like I'll look and be like, "Fuck, they're like 2 minutes over. They don't know to look at it." Or it's a genius concept though.
So that's a double thieving moment. We stole that from Anthony Eugenio, who stole it from another comedian whose name escapes me right now. But yeah, just double thieved that, and it's such a perfect.
It works
setup.
great because you
'Cause
don't have
no
the
one-
person like looking for the light or like, oh, I got you, I see. Like they just see it like, okay, I know in my head.
Yeah, no one was seeing the flashlight on our phones when we were doing it that way. Everyone was running the light. We would have 10 comedians, and it would still be like an hour and a half shot. We're like, what is happening? So this has been very smooth with the orb. Love the orb.
I love the orb. I'm scared of the orb. I rush sometimes when it gets to yellow. You'll catch me like stumbling or like going into like an old bit.
Yeah, you see it, and you're like, oh.
Oh fuck! Now, what's the next showcase you guys have coming up?
Next one, September 21st.
It's like get in, we're going laughing, bitch, or something.
Yeah, get in, loser. We're going to a comedy show.
I love the name.
Yeah, Buzz hit us with that one, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I was skeptical at first. It grew on me. Every single minute I was looking at it, I was like, actually, that's pretty fucking.
That makes sense.
That is a good name. We just got the Canva app, so we've just been going crazy on that with the.
That's
posters.
fun. I fucked with that.
It's fun, man. Making posters
Yep.
is fun. Comedy's fun. Everything about what we're doing is so much fun.
That's why we got into it. Like, fuck, we have day jobs and like we just like to tell jokes and tell goofs. But what's cool about the festival too, not to sidetrack from that, I feel like everybody's learning so much. Like on Thursday, Chris Newgith was running the soundboard for the show. He had to bop over to Empire because he was on Caleb Theodore's acquaintances show.
Yep.
But he was teaching Nick is Cute how to run the board. So I'm like, this is awesome. So like everybody's having fun doing comedy, but people are learning. So now by the end of this weekend, Nick's gonna know how to run that fucking board.
Yeah.
Like Steven was helping him last night. It's like people are. It's just I don't want to cry. I don't want to sound sappy, but it's just such a
Let it
beautiful
out, man.
moment for this comedy community right now.
It is for every individual that's part of this. You will be better by the end of the weekend.
That's something. It might not be
Yeah.
comedy, but
Yeah, something in the field you will be better at for sure. It is a fucking beautiful weekend for it, man.
Any questions for me? Anything you want to discuss? I feel like I'm predominating this conversation as the
Well,
host.
I mean, I think that's your job.
Yeah, it is.
That is your job.
Well, I'm tired. You have any
Yeah.
questions for me? Ask me a question. I always ask. It's always where's Sean, never how's Sean.
All right, give me your favorite moment on stage so far.
Favorite moment on stage so far.
Yeah.
I was riffing when I first moved up here. The first night that I was on at Blue on Tuesday night. You and Buzz were there, but you guys left because the list was full. It was late, and I followed Anna, and
Yep.
she was talking about being a nomad and living in the van, and I was trying to work out a Hawk 2 bit where like. You know, she said guys like it when you hit him with the Hawk 2. You know what women don't like when you spread their legs and hit him with the PU. And this guy was like, what? And I was like, oh, it means pussy. The pussy stinks, sir. And Anna's in the back, and she's new to it, I believe. And at that point, she's like, Portland, where the pussy don't stink. And off the top of my head, I was like, you just told us how you live in a van. And I was like, I'm so sorry, dear. I don't know you. I'm sure you're a nice lady. And like, I apologize immediately. But like that quick wit of like a snapback, like not heckling, but kind of like just. I have the microphone, like, calm down.
Just a little rizz-razz.
Yeah. And it won the crowd over, and they were on my side after the smelly pussy joke.
Those are beautiful moments, man. When you just off the top of your head say something like that, I think I feel the same way because I think one of my favorite moments of all time was I was talking about wiping asses, and there's people who stand up to wipe asses, me, and then people who stay seated to wipe their ass. And I asked some guy, I'm like, do you stay seated or stand up? And he's like, I stay seated. And I'm like, dude, I have to stand up.
You got to get in there.
I got to clean up my eating's not great, so my shits aren't phenomenal, and I got to really clean up. And he was
I haven't
like,
had
oh,
corn
I
in
got
2
to,
weeks. What the fuck?
I got a bidet. I was like, a bidet, dude. I was like, I just pop a hole in the top of a Dasani and squirt it on my asshole. That's a Biddeford bidet, baby boy. And still to this moment, I haven't had anything on stage that has made me feel as alive as that moment.
Yep. Or if on Friday, another fun one, I posted on my Instagram story. One of the comics, Dr. Holly, I think she was from Chicago, this older black chick. She was like right in the front row.
Yep.
And I said a joke, and she was like, oh, shit. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy. Thank you, Dr. Holly. And I was like, yeah, it was crazy, Dr. Holly. And then I went into like another bit, And she said, "Oh shit," again. And I was like, "Yeah, it was crazy, doctor." So like that was another callback. Like, all right, you're with me.
Yeah, I saw her at a Prey.
She was funny.
Yeah, saw her at a Prey on
She's funny
Friday.
as hell. She's talking about the men's room and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That was a cool show at Definitive. It was outside, so that always adds like all the jokes are going up in the ether. And
What are you rocking tonight for shows? I know you're hosting somewhere, right? Where are you hosting?
so I got the podcast, and then I'm Rising Tides at 5. So I'm hosting that. I'm gonna get there around like 4, but hopefully they're running late because Nikolai is the last one at the 3 o'clock show.
Yeah.
So I want to see Nikolai's 10, and then I'll host after that. So that'll be fun.
Let's go.
I got that, and then I got part 2 with Brendan Mahaney tonight. I'm a busy bee.
Yeah, you're
I
grinding.
just want to fucking sleep.
You are grinding, man. That's how I feel. I really want to sleep. Thursday, obviously, stayed up way too late. Then I had to leave for work at like 6:30 in the morning, so I got like 3.5 hours of sleep. Friday, I obviously did the same exact thing over and
We're
over
also
again.
excited because it's like the festival's finally here. We've been waiting, and
Yeah, man. I think I've gotten a combined like 12 in the past 4 days.
yep, the midnight oil's fucking burning for sure.
Oh, for sure. I got nap breath on my beard right now. My beard smells like a nap, and it's fucking disgusting.
Like, oh fuck, I gotta go talk to Sean for 45 minutes. I'm
Yo.
late.
Yup. Okay, what's your least favorite moment so far on stage? What's your
Every
biggest,
time
like,
I'm
is
on
this for me?
stage, every night I'm on stage. No, the biggest like shit moment. I went in Florida. One of this guys, Michael Jocum's, very funny guy in Florida. I drove him down to like Fort Myers, an hour and a half drive to do. There was a roast of Shelly Kelly. Shelly Kelly hosts Evolving Comedy. Trans woman, I think. Anyways, it was the roast of Shelly Kelly. So like people went down there and he got paid to do it. And so I wrote. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll try to get you 10 minutes." I was like, "Fuck yeah, 10 minutes at like a captive audience." This and that. It was a cool stage. It was at a brewery. It was like a side area. The stage was huge. They do like bands and stuff. And I go up and I did like 9. And I was like steady with it, but I was like really. That's when I started questioning my set. You know, have you had those moments? Because I'm at the point where I'm trying to get a consecutive. I want to get to the point where I can make 5 minutes. Like restaurants, I'm trying to crack that. Like you've heard me try restaurant bits. Like, all right, that one works, that one sucks. Go up and do 5 minutes on restaurants. That's when the gear really started to turn for me. Like, okay, I'm just going up there and a joke. Like segues and stuff aren't exactly. I'm not exactly cracking segues at this point. So that's when I really got the drive and the focus to, okay, that's like, so now my first set at New England's Funniest, round 1, I had that as a coherent 5 minutes. So I was proud of that. I mean, it took me a year and a half to get that 5 minutes. Like, I'm sure you heard it that week because I was prepping for that festival. I think I have the video of me doing it at the Comedy Mill, and somebody's like, "We've heard all these jokes before," like in the video. And I'm like, "You asshole, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to work on it."
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that was a moment too when I heard that. Like, we've heard these jokes. I heard somebody whisper that, and I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna hear the jokes."
What do you? Obviously, you've heard the jokes before.
I'm prepping for New England's Funniest. Hear me out. It's a process. But I'm shitting my pants because I'm up this Thursday for round 2, and I do not have a consecutive 5 minutes.
Oh, you got this. You got
I
this.
know.
You got this.
I want to do like a minute though, because the judges are behind you. So I just want to do like a minute like this to the judges.
Just
Like,
flipping them off.
yeah. Like I know I'm not gonna get to the finals, but fuck you guys.
Yeah, I've heard there's some interesting choices. Just people that are like owning businesses, pretty
It's
much.
the sponsors, so it's
Yeah.
difficult. But not only that, like nothing to knock the contest. It's great. I'm happy to be there. But how are you gonna judge a comedic performance looking at my back? Like focusing on my bald spot instead of seeing my facial expressions and reactions. Like they should have had it by the hosts where the soundboard is, so they can actually watch the performance.
Yep.
Not knocking them, just the thought that I have.
Yeah, that's something I can take into next year. And this is gonna be a thing for a long time, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like, I know I'm not the funniest right now, so I'm not even gonna attempt this. It would be fun to get on stage, but I just want to. I kind of think that taking your time with some things is very good in this industry. Obviously, jumping into the fire is great in some moments, but with stuff like that, like even our shows that we're running, like we really want to take our time. We're not trying to do like 2 or 3 shows a month. We're trying to keep it like
You want to present a good show, yeah.
yeah. We want to have our ducks in a row, dude. 1 show a month, and yeah, I just didn't. I knew I wasn't gonna do very well.
Now, what are tickets for those? Like $15?
I think so.
That's reasonable for like a showcase. Like once you get to the 20s and stuff, like people are like, whoa, I'm not paying. Like
So for the showcases, it's 10 online, 15 at the door. For our like bigger name acts, it's 20 and 25.
yeah, it's not bad though. It's not a bad price point.
Yeah, I mean our first show, dude, we had 120 people there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Brendan Air, that one.
The climb.
Yeah, dude, bricked right up the whole time.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck, where was I going? That stage though at Aura, like I looked the place up because I never been. I just moved back, so like people be like, "Oh, have you been here? Have you been there?" I'm like, I go to work and I go to open mics. Like I don't, and I go to a bar. Like I don't get out that much to like know these spots. But I looked it up and saw the size of the stage, and I was like, "Fuck." And then like I got there and I was like, "I got this. I'm confident. I have the material." But walking out on that stage, I was like, "This is like a legit fucking like Bowling for Soup is gonna be here in September." Like,
Yeah.
this is a decent sized stage. That was a cool feeling to have though.
Yeah. What's your first mic you ever went to? What
McCurdy's. Well, that's not true. When I lived in Orlando, like 5 years ago, these girls that I worked with were like, "Oh, we're going to this place." It was called Austin's Coffee, and they sold beer and shit, and they had an open mic. And I was off that Sunday. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go." Never been on stage like that. I mean, I was in punk bands and stuff, but never like a comic on stage.
that checks out. You give off punk band.
Yeah. Well, that's like with the when you were tying the knot the other day, and I was like, "No, you gotta do it like this." Like, don't worry, I was in punk bands. Like, we used to have lanyards all the time. We just tie them to our thing. Yeah, dude, I was in a crazy punk band. We traveled up and down Florida, like skinny dipped in Daytona Beach all the time. It was fucking dope. Got paid a lot of cocaine. Now I'm on blood pressure medicine. But
Let's go.
But fuck, what was I saying? Yeah. So Austin's Coffee, I went. I had no material prepped, and they sold beer. So I was like 5 PBRs deep, and there was other comics who, like, now looking back on it, I understand why they were like that. But I was like, "Yo, I've never done an open mic. Do you guys have any advice?" And one guy's like, "Yeah, be funny." I'm like, "Calm down, dude. We're all at Austin's Coffee on a Sunday."
Yeah.
But I got hammered, and I went up and I told just stories.
Yep.
Like I just told some crazy stories that I've experienced, and it worked out in my favor because this guy walked in, and he had a guitar, and the place was packed. It probably sat like 30 people, and there wasn't any seats, so he like sat on a stool on the stage, like in the middle of my act, and I was like, not even an act, can't even call it that, but I was like, "Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very special night, not just because it's the first time I'm doing comedy. We have a celebrity in the house. Make some noise for Mike Jr. from American Choppers," because the guy looked like him. He was like a chubby blonde dude with a beard. That was a son, yeah, Mikey or whatever. Anyways, so that got a laugh. And then when I was leaving,
First riff.
yeah, crowd work, day one, crowd work, baby. I got him. And then I went to a bar and just like drank myself to sleep because I was like, "That was terrible. I should never do that."
Why did I do that?
But then my mom passed away in November 2022. Yeah, it's almost 2 years now. And that really opened my eyes. Like, okay, you only go around once. Like, I've always wanted to do comedy. Like, why not? So there's a comedy club in Sarasota called McCurdy's. You sign up online. There's only 10 spots. It's once a week on Thursdays, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock or whatever. And you sign up online. But since there's only 10 spots, the list fills up. So you have to wait like a month and a half, 2 months to go on.
Oh, wow.
So I signed up and I had 2 months. So I was writing and I was all excited and I was writing dog shit. I have the video on my
That's
phone.
what it does in
I'll
the
sh-
first fucking 2 months.
I'm like shaking, holding the notepad. I'll show you the video after.
Yeah.
And I opened with a dyslexic walks into a bra. Like, that's got to be so frustrating having that. Imagine how many times a dyslexic person has thought they won the lottery. Once again, storyteller style, like I do. And I'm like, like 7, 12, 13, 24. Oh, my God, I won $1 million. I can finally leave my nagging wife. I can tell my boss he's a fucking idiot. My life's about to change. Guy goes to the lottery office. I just got the $1 million ticket. Sir, that's a 42. So it was like a dumb joke like that. I still remember that whole set. I could go into the whole thing. But yeah, that was my first time on stage. Like, actual first time on stage.
Yep.
And I had the notepad, and then I went back in 2 more months. But what was hard about it was that was the only mic in town. So we had to wait,
Where was
like, in Sarasota, Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
45 south of Tampa. So we had to wait like 2 months. So we're not getting better. Like we're just waiting to go up. So then we just found clubs like the Gimmick up in Ybor and Sunshine City and St. Pete. And then we started hosting our own. But you definitely got to do as many mics as you can.
For sure.
So I had like a weird 2 first times. And then I was at a New Year's Eve party and the power went out once. This was after Austin's Coffee. I'm just going to talk about me for a minute, Nate, since you asked.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Send it, baby.
So after Austin's Coffee, I'd done it the first time. And I was like, yeah, I've done stand-up. And so we're at a New Year's Eve party and the power goes out. So everybody's just standing around. So I just started telling street jokes. Like my grandfather told us, like growing up, like vulgar ass shit. Like Jesus walks into a bar, like this drunk guy, a 10-inch pianist, and like I was killing him. I was like, these are street jokes. Like obviously this works for everybody, but like there might be something here. Like I like talking. Yeah, I like talking to people. And these 2 guys came up, and it was in Orlando, so they went to like Full Sail, which is like a
auto engineering.
No.
Audio engineering.
Audio engineering. Yeah, audio engineering, like an artsy type college.
Yep.
And they were going for like writing or something, and they're like, "Oh my God, we have this pilot. Like, you want to work on it with us?" So they sent me like a Google Drive file, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I just told like King Arthur's going on a quest jokes, and these people want me to. Yeah, they want me to write a script, and then that fucked with my head for a little bit because I was like, I don't know anything about script writing, and these kids are in college doing it. It was cool. It was interesting. The show never got picked up, obviously, but it was about a group of guys. They're like, we're kind of trying to do. I feel like such an asshole. Well, it's kind of like Seinfeld, but it's kind of like It's Always Sunny, and it's kind of like Friends. So it's like not a show about nothing, like, but the plot is these 4 guys are stoned and they want to order Chinese food, but from a very specific Chinese place, and they're so high they can't find the Chinese takeout menu in the apartment. And I'm like, that's the plot of the show.
That's what this show is about.
That's your pilot. That's your pilot, buddy. That's how you're gonna sell. These 2 stoners can't find a fucking Chinese menu.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 3
rewrites. Let's go. No
of
wonder
the
you brought me
biggest
in.
shows of all time. You know those shows.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those.
A couple guys in their 20s, you know, but they hang out at a bar, talking about pop culture.
Trying to find a Chinese spot.
Life is fucking crazy, dude. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Dude, let's go. Yeah, I'm trying to think. The first mic I ever did was Free Street. And
That's a cool one. Was it the Cavern? Was it downstairs?
No, it was upstairs. And
Back room?
Yep,
I like the back room.
back room.
Intimate.
I signed up first because no one else wanted to, and I was like, "Why is
And
no
you
one?"
didn't know what a bullet was.
Yeah, I was like, "Why is no one here?" And people were like, "I don't know."
Sign up and we'll show you.
Yep. So I signed up. I had been prepping for a while. Like I knew I wanted to do comedy. I was almost at a comedy class with Buzz, but he shot me down. I was like, dude, let's go do a comedy class. He's like, how much is it? $250. He's like, how about we just go do an open mic, you fucking idiot.
Take the class, though.
Yeah, I should have. But yeah, so I just went there, had my material, had it memorized. That was like one of the few times I didn't have my notepad. And yeah, bombed pretty damn hard. I ended with a joke with an Indian accent, which did not go over.
I'm assuming it wasn't a tasteful Indian accent.
No, I tried as hard as I could to do an Indian accent, talking about how if Getting Jiggy With It was sung by a guy with an Indian accent, it would be hilarious.
Tell me that off camera.
Yeah, for sure. I'm never going to do that joke ever again. But yeah, a lot of people in the crowd didn't really enjoy that one. I think I had them in the first half. Like I got a couple giggles with my first few jokes, and then that one just sent it off the rails. I found out a couple months later that I don't know if you know Cheech.
Maybe if I saw him, dude. I'm so mean, you know.
It's a lady.
Oh, sorry, Cheech.
She is very funny comedian. At I think Portland. I'm not 100% sure where she's from, but she is of Indian descent, and she was there, and I think she hates me still to this day. But I don't blame you, Cheech. It's completely understandable. I respect you as a comedian, and I hope you can forgive me one day for that awful, awful Indian accent.
It's a learning curve, but
Oh, yeah.
at least you recognize, like, okay, if I'm going to try to do an accent, it has to be tasteful. Not like you were being disrespectful intentionally. It just made me think of when I did Blue one night, and there was this like 50-year-old dude, and he went up and was talking about Japanese and Chinese, how and the Koreans talk slower, and it was just like 2.5 minutes of that.
Of just Asian accents.
Yeah, and he didn't bail on it. And afterwards, he came back on stage in between comics and was like, "Sorry about the Chinese joke." And Rosellen was hosting, and she was like, "No, don't get on the stage unless we call your name." So I went up, and this guy before me did voices and impressions, and he was really good at them. And it was tasteful. It was from the heart. Like, you could tell it was in the right spot.
Yeah.
So me poking the bear, being a bad boy of comedy, I went up and I was like, "Make some noise for the last guy. I'd love to hear his Chinese accent." And like the crowd laughed at that.
I bet it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But just yeah.
And then the
Move player.
the guy's outside talking to one of the musicians, and the musician's kind of trying to tell him, like, don't do the joke, but like being polite about it. He's like, "Maybe I would shelf that one and like work on it, and like don't like." And the guy's like, "But yeah, these kids, they just don't understand. Like, that's how Chinese people talk." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Just doubling, tripling down on it.
I'm like, dude, just bail on the material.
Yeah.
He's like, "They don't get it. It's a funny joke. It's a funny joke."
You're like, maybe
If you have to say it's a funny joke, it's not a funny
maybe
joke.
in the backyard, like with a fire going and a bunch of beers. And
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe at the Elks, but fuck it. I'm so envious that Buzz joined the Elks because I wanted to do that for a while.
Dude.
I saw his Snapchat and he was smoking at a bar, and I was like, "Dude, where is there a bar that you can smoke in Portland?" He's like, "Dude, I'm at the Elks up in Lewiston." I was like, "Fuck yeah, bro."
Oh, that's so awesome. Something about smoking a cigarette indoors is one of the most magical things on the planet.
You can do it in some bars still in Florida.
Really?
Shout out West End Pub, Mikey and them. I love you guys. Miss you. I'll be back in February. Yeah, that was like my spot every night I go to West End Pub.
There was a strip club at Mohegan Sun called the Minx that you could smoke cigarettes in there. And one of my buddies' like core memories of me is at his bachelor party, I had two black girls like twerking in my face, and I was just sitting there
Ripping a
smoking
dart.
cigarette. He's like, "Dude, I've never seen someone look so cool in my entire
Two chains is blasted. You're like, I'm vibing right now.
Oh man, that was awesome.
Shout out to black strippers, dude.
Oh dude.
Shout out to strippers in general.
Yeah, you guys are the backbone of America.
One day they're gonna be veterinarians, bro.
They're gonna get that college degree. I know it.
Yep. I'm gonna have to go to the ER and be like, "Dude, I know I have better health insurance than this. Like, I saw her butthole 2 weeks ago." Sorry, that was disrespect. Sex work is work.
That's what we need to do. We need to get a comedian strip club night going. Just all the boys go blow some money.
I want to get a poker night going. I feel like that would be fun.
Yep, we've played poker a couple of times. We'll hook you up the next time we play. We'll send you the old invite.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, poker's fun. But I remember the first time we did poker with like the Comedy Milk crew, everyone took mushrooms, and we played for like 4 hours and probably got like 12 hands in because we were just all such a mess,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Damn. Well, anything you want to plug? I do have to get ready to go to that mic.
Yeah. September 21st, we are doing a showcase. Get in, loser. We're going to a comedy show at Mulligan's in Biddeford. Tickets available on Eventbrite. Go to follow us on Instagram, fucking Facebook, OnlyFans, at the Comedy Mill.
I'd pay for Buzz's OnlyFans.
Oh, I do. And then October, we have Johnny Ader coming through to headline for us with Troy Pennell as our feature comedian. That is October 12th, a Saturday. Same time, same place, Mulligan's, 8 o'clock,
yeah.
upstairs. Dude, we got it going. Thank you so much,
Vibing.
bro.
Yeah, would you come back? I loved having you on.
Oh, absolutely.
When I like refresh from the festival and we're not both tired, let's get together again. I got to get Paul on too. When we were doing the bowling alley gig, I talked to him briefly about it, but we never set a date up.
Yeah, you should actually, if you have another mic, we should do a three-way with Paul.
I have a splitter, but the audio comes up because I did one with Zach and Gabriel Perez, and the audio comes up kind of wonky. If that's the case, guys, I do want to just do a quick little shout out. If that's the case, we do have them on Spotify too, and I put that through a different mixer. So if you're enjoying the podcast, but the audio is a little wonky on YouTube on the video, head over to Spotify. Just listen to it on your drive. You know, the audio is a little bit better. It goes through a different mixer, like I said. But yeah, once I figure out the splitter and how to correct that issue, I would love to have more than. It's good to have 3 people on because you get different takes on shit. So like you and me are bouncing ideas back, and then Gabe could be like, "Oh, but what about this aspect?" Or like Buzz could, yeah. But
And
fuck
Paul's
yeah.
perfect for that, to zing in some one-liners of like his thought, and he's such a different level of like person than we are. You know what I mean? 'Cause he's so damn old.
It was cool though to see him. Like that's what's cool too about getting booked on all these showcases. Like showing up to the bowling alley, knowing like Paul's gonna be there, and it's like, here we are in the trenches again, dude. Like let's
Yeah.
fucking vibe and figure this out.
You.
Oh, fuck yeah, man, Nate. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. This has been My Wife's Asleep. Yee.